Hello again. Welcome to Grandpa's Workshop. We're here not to discuss woodworking, but to use the venue as a chance to talk about poetry. You know, poets are liars. They'll tell you one thing, but they really mean something else, and they ask you to fill in the gap, and in so doing, you're bringing that work into your own life. I love this poem by John Ciardi, Have All My Life. It's a poem called About Crows. It's not really about crows, but he says it's about crows. The old crow is getting slow. The young crow is not. Of what the young crow does not know, the old crow knows a lot. But knowing things, the old crow is still the young crow's master. What does the slow old crow not know? How to go faster. The young crow flies above, below, and rings around the old crow. What does the fast young crow not know? Where to go. You know, a lot of times the poet will give us a poem that explains things in a way that can't be done with just ordinary prose, ordinary language. Here again, the poet, it talks about something, at the same time he's really talking about something completely different. This is called The Scrub Oak Tree by Herbert Merrill. And where it first begins to seem as if he's talking about a tree and a rocky place, when you sit back and think about it a little, he's really not speaking of that. The Scrub Oak Tree, Herbert Merrill. Some 20 years ago, an acorn dropped into a rocky place where limestone showed a few white teeth and where the forest stopped before the red slash of a quarry road. It had no business to be hatching there, splitting the brown eggshell and thrusting out a skinny leg of green life on the bare, inhospitable ledge. A week, no doubt, would see it shrivel up and starve itself, a pinch of failure in a cup of stone. But there it stands today upon its shelf, its talons in the rock. I freely own the whole thing baffles me, and I can show statistics proving that it couldn't grow. I've had the pleasure, happiness, joy, whatever, of reading that poem to 3 people, friends of mine, who had a cancer summons that said, "This is a terminal cancer, you will die of cancer." And I read them this poem, and 2 of the 3 have survived and are still surviving. And I can show statistics proving that it couldn't grow. To end on a lighter note, Dorothy Parker is known for lighthearted, easygoing comic poetry. This is called The Choice. He'd have given me rolling lands, houses of marbles, billowing farms, pearls to trickle between my hands, smoldering rubies to circle my arms. You'd only a lilting song, only a melody, happy and high. You were sudden and swift and strong, and never a thought for another had I. He'd have given me laces rare, dresses that glimmered with frosty sheen, shining ribbons to wrap my hair, horses to draw me as fine as a queen. You'd only to whistle low, and gaily I followed wherever you led. I took you and I let him go, and somebody ought to examine my head. So I guess it'll do for this session. If you enjoyed what you have heard, you could subscribe, you could like, or you could send in a suggestion as to a poem that you've always liked and enjoyed. And if it's possible, there's a very good chance that we'll read it in Grandpa's Workshop.